Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to take you through on how we can install Ubuntu desktop in a virtual environment, and in our case we are going to use the VirtualBox. So I'm going to show you on how you can get a VirtualBox. You're going to go to the browser, and here we are going to search for VirtualBox, and on the first page that appears we have Oracle Virtual Machine. We're going to click on it and then click here on downloads, and since my host machine is Windows, on this page you're going to select Windows host, and as you can see we have the executable file for virtual machine. So it's going to take some time to download depending on the speed of your machine, and once it's complete you're going to go to the downloads folder, and in my case I'll go to the programs where we have the VirtualBox setup. I'm going to click on it, and actually it provides us with a query wizard where we are just going, it's a matter of clicking next. It's just simple. You're going to use the default configurations in our case. So click on install, and in this case also it's going to take some time depending on the speed of your machine. As you can see on the desktop, it has created for us a shortcut, so that is what we're going to use. We're just going to double click on it, and that is it. Our virtual environment is actually set. Now the next thing you're going to do is to download Ubuntu desktop. You'll go to the browser, you search for Ubuntu desktop, and then in the first page you click on it, and here we are going to scroll down to where we have the option of download. So we are on the right side, we are going to click on download. So, and the file size is actually, it's an ISO image, it's 3.56 GB, and it's going to take some time also to download. So that is the ISO image for Ubuntu desktop that we are going to use. So once it's done, you can check on your downloads folder, and yes, here we have it. That is the ISO file that we are going to use. Now we're going to go to the virtual. Actually, before that I want to show you something. As you can see, my local disk C, the partition, it has a free space of 103 GB. I want you to take note of that, because at the end of the video I'm going to explain for you something, because you're going to borrow some space from the local disk C for the installation of our Ubuntu desktop in the VirtualBox. So here we're going to click on new, and since you are installing Ubuntu desktop, let's just call it Ubuntu desktop, and the type is Linux, and as you can see here, it's our version is 64, and we have different distribution, OpenSUSE, Xander, so it depends with the one that you are using. So in our case we're using Ubuntu, and our architecture is 64. So we are going to click on next. Here it asks you the RAM that you're going to recommend. I'm going to set mine to around 4 GB, and then I'm going to click on next. Here we're going to use the default setting, create a virtual hard disk now. So we're going to create. Here also we are going to use the virtual disk image. Click on next, and we're going to use the dynamically allocated. As you can see, it has been explained there, dynamically allocated and fixed size. So in our case we are going to use the dynamically allocated. So click on next, and here this is where we have the storage. Now it's 10 GB, but I'm going to increase it to 20 GB, and then we're going to create it. So as you can see on the left side we have our Ubuntu desktop, but now we have to attach it to our ISO file. So we're going to go to the settings, and then on the general settings Here everything is set. You're going to go on the advanced. Here we're going to select by direction so that we can actually copy things from the host machine and use them in the virtual environment. And then we're going to, here on the description you can put the passwords on the systems. Here your motherboard, the processor. Since I'm using 4 CPUs, I'm going to allocate this one to acceleration. We're going to leave it as it is. Same case with the display. Now on the storage section, this is where we are going to attach our ISO file. So you're going to go here where we have empty, click on it, and then on the right side here choose a disk file, and here we're going to select our ISO file that we downloaded for Ubuntu. Going to open, and as you can see it has now been attached. And then the audio, we're going to leave it the way it is. On the network section you're going to use NAT so that it can enable our network adapter to use the internet for the VirtualBox environment. So we're going to leave it the way it is as NAT, and basically that is it on the setup. Now the next thing now is to start the Ubuntu desktop. So on the right side where we have the arrow, the green arrow saying start, we click on it. It's going to load our ISO file. As you can see, Ubuntu desktop starting virtual. You're going to click on install Ubuntu. It will take some time to load. And there we have it. In our language we are going to use the default one, that is English. Then I'm going to click on install Ubuntu. Here we're going to select our language as US and then click on continue. And here we are going to use the normal installation, and as you can see the downloads updates while installing Ubuntu. So we are going to download the updates while installing, or you can decide not to, so that you can install the updates later on. The difference is that the speed of installation. So here we are going to use the current hard disk, and in our case it's the one that we had allocated, the 20 GB, and it is not going to erase anything on our machine because we just borrowed some space on C. Here my region is Nairobi, so I'm going to use the default one, or depending on where you are you can click on the map so that it can detect your region. Mine is in Nairobi, so here we're going to enter our details. Let me say Vincent. We are setting up our name, and then the password also. It's telling me weak password, but it's still okay, we can go with that. And it's going to require my password to log in, as you can see on the radio button the way it has been selected. So it's going to take some time here to copy your files because it's actually extracting them from the ISO image that you had downloaded. Once your installation is complete, click on restart now. And here we are going to be prompted to enter our password. So you're going to click on Vincent, and then we're going to enter our password that we had set to log in. And basically that is it. Here we have our Ubuntu desktop we have actually installed it in the virtual environment, that is there through the Oracle virtual machine. And as you can see here, we have our applications, and they are going to get this prompt. You can skip this for now, click next. Let's click on it, and then we're going to click next. And these are some of the applications that you can install: Code, Zoom, Slack, VLC. And then you can go to the terminal and check whether we have internet connection. We are going to ping the Google IP, and as you can see, it has connection to the internet as well. And here we can pwd, it shows the directory, the path actually that we are in. And here you can also set the sudo password. It gives you the permissions to do anything as a sudo. And I guess in the future I'm going to have a video whereby we are going to look at the basic Linux commands. So I guess that will be our next video. And here you also, to install, you can type sudo apt get update. It's going to install updates via the terminal. Or if you want to upgrade at the same time, you can say sudo apt get upgrade. So these are some of the basic commands that you're going to look at in my next video as far as Linux is concerned. So basically that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share and like. That is what I had for you today, and thank you guys. See you next time.